How's it going, and welcome to Villains Voiced, a series where I go over your favorite villains that you love to hate. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at a dynamic duo, Vorryn and Dredavex, a pair that is out of this world. But before I go into anything major, I must warn you that there will be spoilers, so players that plan on playing in Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden, do not watch this. But DMs that want added insight on how to roleplay these fine individuals, go ahead and stick around because we have a lot to cover. And here they are. I love the art for these gnome ceramorphs. It fits so well. It looks so goofy and yet oddly creepy. And you know for a fact they pack quite a punch. Not only in their laser weaponry, but also in their mind blast that they all possess. These things are terrifying. They are powerful. And they know it. But even though these creatures are powerful, they are in need of the player's help. They need people to go out there and find a psi crystal for them because they are all hands on deck. They need to stay at the ship to keep the ship alive. And unfortunately, they have no other choice but to just sit there and keep up maintenance. And so to that degree, when your players approach the Nautilus ship, they're going to see this alien construct. They're not going to know what it is. And when they approach close enough, they are going to be psychically contacted, hearing a voice ring out to them that speaks,
Greetings, common folk. It is most fortuitous that you have arrived. Please make your way inside the vessel so that you may not freeze to death.
Your players are naturally going to get spooked by some entity probing their mind and speaking to them without words. But if they are adventurous enough, they are going to go ahead, hop on board, and step inside. Inside there, that they will see the alien construct that this place is, all these unnatural walls, and most important of all, the unnatural beings. They're going to see the gnome squidlings, they're going to see the gnome ceramorphs, and they're also going to see a flesh golem, an amalgamation of deer, goblin, and dwarf. Terrifying. The gnome ceramorph Dredavex is going to walk down the stairs and announce himself to the party.
So delightful to meet warm bloods this far out from your civilization. We are in need of your services. Would you be both willing and able to assist us? I am Dredavex. My intelligent counterpart is Vorryn. The three servants ones are in Rix and Zglaud. The flesh amalgamation is a pet project we have worked on in our time here.
Your players are obviously going to be inquisitive. They're going to want to know what's going on. They're going to be asking a ton of questions. And if your players ask how they got here, Vorryn is going to speak up and say,
Our calculations were off, and we were brought down in a blizzard. We cannot leave, as we must spend our time keeping the ship in service. Were we to leave, the ship would die. We need you to go and retrieve a psi crystal.
If your players ask what this ship is, because obviously they're going to see an awesome ship and wonder what it is, he will go ahead and continue saying,
You stand inside a Nautilid, a ship that may bear our kind through the astral plane. The ship is irreplaceable, so we must do everything in our power to restore it. Pending failure, we must ensure that this does not fall in the hands of others.
Now, armed with his knowledge of the fact that these creatures are clearly alien and not of this world, they're probably going to ask what were they doing here. In which case, Dredavex will go ahead and speak up, saying,
We were collecting samples for experimentation. This region is home to a wide array of specimens. However, our primary concern now is survival and escape.
Hearing this cry for help, your players might go ahead and decide to help these alien creatures, in which case they will be inquisitive. They want to know what this psi crystal is. When asked what they are, Dredavex will go ahead and say,
They are psi crystals infused with psionic powers from long ago. They simply cannot be recreated. We have built a device that will detect one's presence if you're within 5 of your miles of it. Seek it out before the ship perishes.
Now, as we all know, players are scumbags and always want rewards for supposed good deeds, in which case Vorryn will go ahead and say,
We are willing to give you a pair of laser weaponry, as well as items we have harvested. This will be more than sufficient payment for your services.
If your players say that they are not going to retrieve this psi crystal, or they come back at a later time and they don't have it, Vorryn is going to go ahead and say,
"Then our ship is lost. We will initiate the self-destruct sequence, then move to the local civilization to consume. Our survival is first and foremost our main objective."
If your players ask what consume means, unfortunately, if they go ahead and look around the main cabin, they're going to discover what that truly means. Liquefied brain. These creatures need to eat, and if they are not lifted off world, they will at some point run out of resources here, and they'll take it out on the 10 towns bit by bit. So hopefully with that incentive that these creatures will go ahead and begin consuming the local populace, that will drive your players to retrieve this psi crystal. Once your players retrieve a psi crystal, or they simply already had one in their possession, thankfully, and make their way here, the gnome Ceramorph will expout,
"Excellent! With this, we may escape. Our time on this plane is over, common folk. May we never meet again."
In which case, they will go ahead and reward the players for their hard services, and they will get to work making the ship ready and functional to get out of here. They will go ahead and fly and sail the astral sea and not bother with this location ever again. Or at least not Icewind Dale. They may come back to other parts of Faerun, but definitely not Icewind Dale. Not when there's a blizzard. Now, of course, your players could see alien creatures and attack alien creatures. Your players could hear that the Gnome Ceramorph's plan is to consume if their demands are not met, in which case your players will go ahead and attack. And that is when the Gnome Ceramorphs are going to start blasting. They're going to be shooting with their laser weaponry, they are going to be unleashing Psychic Blast against the party, and they will fight to survive. And they'll be expouting things in the combat such as,
"Your brains will do well to sate me today. Your intelligence is barely above that of the beast of the land. How could your primitive weapons hope to compare to ours? Any of you that survive will be subject to experimentation. You are not the first to attack us, and I doubt you shall be the last."
And that last one is true. While your players may be awesome, the thing is those mind blasts are devastating. Intelligence saving throws are pretty tough for a lot of PCs, and if they fail, they're stunned, and that's going to be really bad. They're going to be able to dunk on the rest of the people. And with a combination between two Gnome Ceramorphs and the Flesh Golem in here, that is more than easily a way to TPK a party. But if your players strike hard, strike true, and most importantly, strike fast, they can hopefully down these Gnome Ceramorphs one by one and put a stop to whatever it is they had plans for in this material plane. And as they die, they can go ahead and cry out,
"Return yourselves. The time will come.
and
There is so much more left to explore."
And that's it. A few little lines here to get us in the mindset of these alien creatures. It's hard to put ourselves in the mind of an alien because they act differently. They have a different set of ideals, bonds, flaws, and motivations, and you should live that up. These creatures want to get out of here, much like your players want to end the endless winter. But the thing is that they have an immediate goal in front of them that they need to survive. And to that degree, they will be forthcoming and honest. They want to survive, and in order to survive, they need to eat. And if that ship doesn't get out of here soon enough, then they are going to just start consuming. So hopefully your players have a drive and motivation to find this psi crystal to go ahead and release the ship. I talked about this in my coverage of the It Ascendant, but I think that a awesome idea here is to make it so that it requires multiple psi crystals, and these psi crystals are found all around Icewind Dale. You can place these wherever you want. They can be located in dungeons, or most important of all, they can be located on people, and these people are going to have to be bargained with in order to get these psi crystals. Another thing I covered about the It Ascendant is the fact that this ship could theoretically be used for the dragon fight, and it could be used for good. If your players are able to make the It Ascended operable again, and the dragon goes ahead and starts soaring over and begins its attack on the 10 towns, maybe the It Ascendant picks up the party, and your party has an epic fight where they're on a Nautiloid ship armed with laser weaponry, and they have to shoot down a dragon that's attacking the 10 towns. That would be amazingly epic. Even though these creatures get such a small part in this adventure, the fact that these creatures are so unique makes me believe you should throw these characters into more of the campaign. They are excellent, they are awesome, they are fun, albeit though they are scary. These are alien creatures, and they are predictable, and that is a bad thing. They are predictably conservationist. They care about the survival of themselves, and they care about the survival of this Nautiloid ship. They want to get out, and your players are their only hope. So go ahead and tell me, how do you plan on using the Gnome Ceramorphs in your campaign? Is this place too sci-fi and maybe you just don't like it? Maybe you go ahead and scale that down a bit. Instead of them having laser weaponry, you just say that they simply have their own mind weapons and that's it. Maybe you like the sci-fi aspect and start pouring even more into it, saying such things as they have a laser ballista on their ship. Who knows? You can go ahead and amp this up however you desire. Another fun idea is changing up the location of the It Ascendant. Instead of it being located high up in the mountains, maybe it's located in the middle of a lake. Maybe it's located out there on the Sea of Moving Ice. Maybe it's located at the Ragged Glacier, and yet players have to go all the way across the tundra to go get there. There is a lot of ways you can introduce this awesome ship and this awesome crew into the campaign. So skies are the limit. Except, of course, for these Gnome Ceramorphs in this ship, the sky is not the limit. They can go further beyond. Go ahead and tell me all these things because I want to know. That is going to do it for me, though. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all my awesome Patreons here. You guys are absolutely incredible. That is going to do it for me, though. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one.